We've talked about the Holy War some and talk about how it is an all-year thing. Listen, I don't want to use the words crash out, but I'm going to use the words crash out. Utah fans not handling the Ryder Lyons news well at all. I understand being salty when you lose a game, but are you salty when your big rivals get a good commit? I mean, I guess I've done that when Florida and Miami have gotten a good commit, but this has not been a good week for Utah.
No, here's where I kind of get it, is because I remember, growing up an Arkansas Razorback fan, the second that LSU landed a big commit, which happens a lot, I was just upset. It's like, oh, we should have gotten him. Arkansas wasn't even in the running. And now, as an analyst covering the Big 12, I am looking at Utah fans and wondering are you guys okay? I don't want to keep dunking on Utah fans, but I got a text yesterday from Ivan, who is a massive Utah fan. And most people are like, oh, who's Ivan? Just bear with me for a second. He's a massive Utah fan who actually got me tickets to the Holy War last year. I was like, dude, let's go out. We'll have a lot of fun. And he texted me, he's like, do you just hate Utah? Like, we're all mad. We're all upset. Do you hate them? Does everyone hate this? Everybody. And what I need Utah fans to understand is I think they're the most important fan base and arguably the most important school in the Big 12 because Iowa State doesn't hate UCF. Iowa State hates Utah. Why? Because Utah has become kind of the new UT. They become easy to hate. And you have to be good to a degree. You have to have some sort of rapport to a degree to be able to be hateable. Cincinnati's not hateable. Houston's not hateable. We can't because they haven't built that up in football yet in the Big 12. Utah's built it up over years of really solid gameplay. And because of that, they come in the Big 12 with their chest pumped out and high and mighty. And now other fans really dislike them. So in moments like this, it's really easy to further create a universal rivalry amongst Big 12 schools with Utah. And you're seeing a lot of their fans, I think crash out might be the right word, is Utah misses a bowl game in what was supposed to be their greatest roster. I could go and pull up the receipt of people saying it's the greatest Utah roster of all time. Kyle Whittingham will win the Big 12. I picked the Utes to go to the Big 12 championship this last season. I really believed Utah was going to be good. I was very wrong. Everyone else was very wrong in saying the exact same thing as me. And in post, they didn't react well. Their athletic director didn't react well. And now BYU landing A.J. DeBonce, the number one basketball player in the country, and one of the top quarterbacks in the country, Ryder Lyons, they're not reacting well again. They're just watching BYU win. And another piece that really stinks for Utah fans about this is they're watching BYU win, and they're starting to understand BYU is going to keep winning. Now that the Cougars have committed to being really, really good at the whole football thing, the era of Utah and BYU going back and forth could be coming to a close because the Cougs have officially decided we want to dominate. We want to spend money. We want to do things differently. We're not going to go get the 2 stars and the 3 stars. We're going to get the 4 stars and the 5 stars and make this work at the national level. BYU has never been so good on the recruiting trail. They have never been so good at investing in college athletics or investing in football. Now that they kind of unlocked Pandora's box, and the entire Big 12 is cowering at this. And again, if you are a Texas Tech fan, you might not care that much. You're going, wow, cool, a great new opponent to play. But if that is your forever universal rival, Utah, there was one Utah message board warrior who was like, well, this just stinks for BYU because now the bar is raised so high and their expectations are massive. And they, if they don't meet it, it's going to lead to misery. You're like, are you kidding me? They landed a 5-star kid. Your reaction is, this is terrible long-term for the university because their fan base could be let down. And terrible long-term because the SEC will never invite BYU because BYU spends too much on recruiting. That was another take that I saw from Utah fans. Or that Ryder Lyons have been paid $20 million. Utah fans are so excited their recruiting budget is so low and they are landing, 3 or 4-star kids without having to pay $20 million. And it's a crash out, but I get it. I think it's what's great about college football. Those are the little things that when we talk about the death of the game or the death of what we love about college football, that's what's still alive, is hatred, is the love of the rivalry. And Utah fans are displaying that in full right now.
On Utah specifically, what is the problem? Like, maybe that should have been its own segment. How long you got tonight? Quickly though, like, what are your thoughts on how are they able to get not just with their rivalry with BYU, but kind of with their, I mean, they've been a really good team for a long time. This is not like Utah was supposed to have one special year like Texas Tech is supposed to have this year, and they didn't live up, and so no big deal. Utah's been really good for a long time.
Yeah.
And very competitive. Was last year a blip on the radar? Will they be, back to normal this year? And what, part two of that is, what does their NIL budget look like? What does their investment level look like to compete? If not at the highest level, then at least within the Big 12.
Yeah, you say, do I have all day? My DoorDash and Canes, it's here in 4 minutes. Otherwise, I would go on for 20.
No slaw on that, right?
No slaw, no slaw. Double toast, please, and extra cane sauce there too. No free ads, but kind of pretty good chicken. This is, man, TJ, this is a loaded question, but it's one that I think comes down to an off year for Utah. I have not given up on Kyle Whittingham. I have not given up on the Utes. I have not given up on what that program is or its capabilities or its longevity. I do think that Kyle Whittingham and what he's done at that program has staying power, and it's not a Mike Gundy situation where they have to take $1 million away from the head coach and reset everything. Devin Dampier could come in and make them a 9-3 football team. Do I think they're 11-1? No. Do I think that they still have a lot of really good talent? Yes. They have a core there, or at least pieces there that help them go to a Pac-12 championship, win a Pac-12 championship just a couple of seasons ago. Kids on the roster that remember what it's like to win at the highest level. And they were very, very good their final year in the Pac-12. And if they had consistent quarterback play, could have been elite that season as well. So I don't think Utah is in a press the red button, blow it all up mode yet. But then again, we're 1 year away from finding out, oh, shoot, they just can't swim in the Big 12, where they came in overconfident. They thought they could cakewalk everybody, and they couldn't. And now they're going to have to move on from Whittingham, or he retires, or find a new way to compete in this conference. And I hope we don't get there. I don't think we'll get there, but it's always possible.
Second part of that was just the investment level in your mind. I don't know if you have any thoughts or if you've heard anything on that. Just, are they, where do they stack up maybe in the Big 12 is the best way to ask that.
Yeah. NIL wise, they need help. They need some help. I mean, BYU's got the big donors. BYU has the big boppers when it comes to money. And I don't know if Utah's got that same level of investment yet. And a piece of that is the fact that they weren't good last year. And I make this case often. If I'm a donor and gave $2 million to football and then watch football go 5-7, I don't know if I want to give $2 million again. Yeah. I'm probably going to spend that $2 million on a new beach house in Malibu, as opposed to, which wouldn't be a very big beach house in Malibu, as opposed to giving it to football.
Yeah. Drake, where can people follow you? Where can they find your work for more of this nonsense that you and I talk about weekly?
At Locked On Big, at LO Big 12 on Twitter, I should say, and Locked On Big 12, wherever you find your podcasts, and on YouTube at Drake C. Toll on that Bird app as well.
If you have any Utah hate, please direct that Drake's way.
Stop! No, please.
I love you. I've got I'm all like I got a red marker right here. I'm all for the Utes. So
yep. There you go.